Thank you. Will we rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you may notice, I am not the council president, I'm not the mayor, I'm not the finance guy. So all of those folks had a prior commitment, and the council president has asked me to be in charge. So let's cross our fingers and carry on. Would the clerk call the roll?
Alderman Tobin.
Here.
Alderman Jean-Francois.
Here.
Alderman Johnson.
Here.
Alderman Ramkussoon.
Here.
Alderman Kleiner.
Here.
Alderman Green.
Here.
Alderman Witt.
Here.
Alderman Massey. President Rodriguez. Quorum is present.
Thank you, sir. The council, you're in possession of minutes from September 6th and September 20th. I need a motion to approve. Mr. Witt, thank you. Need a second. Mr. Tobin, thank you. Any discussion, questions, or corrections on the minutes? Would the clerk call the roll? All in favor? Never mind. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Motion carries. Thank you. Is there any correspondence at this time?
We do have a letter this evening from the Department of Transportation. Thank you for your correspondence to New York State Department of Transportation dated July 11, 2022, requesting the following roads be designated as access highways for special dimension vehicles, 53-foot tractor trailers in the city of Middletown and the towns of Wayweyond and Walk Hill. James P. Kelly Way, Route 17M to CR 78, CR 78 from James P. Kelly Way to CR 49, and CR 49 from CR 78 to 334 County Route 49. Please know that on October 9th, it will be illegal to drive special dimension vehicles on these segments of James P. Kelly Way, County Route 78, and County Route 49.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
Very good. This is the opportunity to address for the good of the city. Is there anybody among us who would like to address the council this evening? Please come forward. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening. Ex-Chief.
It's a lifetime.
Alderman, how are you?
Pretty good yourself. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay, good seeing you.
Alderman, how are you this evening?
We'll split the difference, so say former.
Because I don't work here.
Thank you.
I love the city, but I'm not employed. Chief,
Thank you.
They want you. It's Chief.
Thank you.
How are you?
How are you, Mr.
Well, thank you. Great, thank you very much.
How are you, Mr. Kleiner?
Good, thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Good to see you. Didn't say hello? Hello, my friend. I'll keep my remarks to what I have written so I don't become contentious. Good evening, council members. I'm sure most of you remember me, as you do, as the past chief of police. I appear before you this evening to address an issue which you may or may not be aware of. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Joel Sierra. Joel Sierra is a lieutenant firefighter in your police department, in your fire department, excuse me. He's a county legislator. He's a local business owner, a family man, but he's also a dear friend of mine. I actually convinced Joel Sierra to accept the position as a Middletown firefighter. I don't know if any of you are aware of that when I was chief of police. It's a position that he holds very proudly. As you may or may not be aware, Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra suffered an on-duty injury earlier this year. What you may be unfamiliar with is the extent of his injury. Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra suffered, in the medical term, a CSF. A CSF is the acronym for a cerebral spinal fluid leak. What it means is that he actually had cerebral spinal fluid coming out of his nose. This could be a very debilitating or life-threatening situation. I'm not here to disparage the city. As you know, I lived here in the city. I was one of the, well, not the first chief. Lou Ogden would probably take that position, and God bless him, who lived in the city limits, and I still love the city. I still come here often when I can. This morning I was out running on the streets in 34-degree weather. It's a little chilly for a Florida guy now. But what I want to make you aware of is the position that the city is taking when it comes to Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra could have statewide implications for paid firemen across the state of New York. And I don't think you're aware of that. I'm not here to debate the merits of the case. The city has a right to explain its position, and that's moving forward. That's not what I'm here for. I provided you with copies of the information that I've requested from the city clerk, Mr. McCormick, dated August 25th, 2022, because Mr. Sierra, Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra, is a personal friend of mine, and I'm his advocate, according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, for persons who may have temporary disabilities such as his. I also provided you with an acknowledgement that I received from Mr. McCormick. And Mr. McCormick, I don't want you to take this personal. I'm not here to disparage you. I want you to know that. However, I'm here for a purpose. So the other document that I provided you with is the acknowledgement from Mr. McCormick that I received on August 26, 2022, stating that my request will be reviewed and I'd be notified under separate cover within 20 business days of my request. Mr. McCormick responded to my request 37 days, approximately, to my count, after I had indicated, not to him, but as a gentleman to other members of the city, that I would be appearing here in this meeting in protest of those actions. Now, Mr. McCormick, you and I don't know each other. I've never met you. I'm sure you're a great guy. And we've never worked together. But if we did, you would know that I try my hardest to be a person of integrity. And if we did work together, you would know that I would fly from Florida and be here this evening. So what I'm asking you this evening, as the governing body of this city, is that I intend to file more FOIL requests in an effort to fully investigate what has happened to my friend, Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra. And I ask you, as the city's governing body, to hold Mr. McCormick accountable for fulfilling his duties and responsibilities according to the Public Officers Law of the state of New York. I am not trying to be disrespectful to you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, but I will be here and I will defend Lieutenant Firefighter Joel Sierra's position to the best of my ability, and I would hate for it to have to come to me resorting to litigation because I love this city. This was my home, and it would be totally disrespectful, I feel, for me to have to resort to that position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you as well. Rest assured, we will duly consider your remarks and take that under strong consideration with the mayor et al. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the council that's in the room at this time? Not seeing any. Eileen, is there anybody online that wishes to address the council?
Not at this time.
Very good. Thank you both. That's for the good of the city. Remarks of department head, economic development.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to report on a couple items. The farm market ends this Saturday, and we had a pretty great season. One thing I want to report on is the Orange County Department of Health. We had a grant program, the BID applied for a grant for their healthy voucher program. So throughout the summer, the farm market season, we distributed, the county distributed over 700, to be approximate, 767 coupons, which translated in about $7,670 in sales for the farmers. So it was a very successful program. We have a balance of a little over 4,000 going into next season, so we're looking forward to finalizing and carrying on the program for next year. So you can see we had a great market season and, you know, a great grant program that really worked well for this year. We are also, the bid is also applying for SNAP for next year. So as you can see, we're progressing with what we've been saying is now that we have a permanent home for the market, Areaway Park, to grow this and keep growing as the years go on. We had a CDA meeting this evening, and we approved the budget to be submitted to the state, and also we have coming up at the theater another great concert this weekend, an ABBA tribute group, ABBA Mania, and then the 2022 Horathon, a lot of great movies for the weekend of Halloween. Eileen, who's behind the door there, she did a great job programming the Horathon this year. And we're still looking for a tree. We're getting people inquiring about a tree for the square and the tree lighting. So we're doing our search and hope to have something soon. And we're getting ready for, again, the holiday season. And also our housing rehab program is going strong and all that good stuff. And that's all I have for tonight.
Are there any questions or comments from Maria? Hearing none. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Commissioner of Public Works.
Good evening, all. So with Alderman Massey not being here, I will start with the reporting on the reservoir level, which is reservoir level is about 84% full. We did benefit from the recent rain, and it worked out well for us. However, just to give you an idea what the things we go through in there to understand and appreciate the water and the reservoir system that we have. On Wednesday, I get a phone call that we may have algae bloom in the Manhagan Reservoir. Rush over there. Reservoir scared the heck out of me, what it looked like, and possible algae bloom, possible turnover, possible everything. That's the main feeder reservoir to us. So we had to immediately try to think, what can we do and what can we change, and so on and so forth. So immediately, with the help from the water department, we switched from a different reservoir to take most of the water coming from Highland Reservoir. We immediately applied for DEC for a special permit to apply copper sulfate, and all our men are cooperating and working, you know, Wednesday night until 8 o'clock, where we're able. I saw the problem about 4 o'clock. We called them in and we continued to work until 8 o'clock until we switched to a different reservoir. And all of this just to make sure that the city of Middletown, which is obviously paramount for us, is to make sure that we produce the best water for our residents and our customers for the water system. And this emphasizes the point and highlights the point of the city purchasing watershed to protect our reservoirs in the watershed with the grant from the DEC, which is the $6 million grant with the matching 20% or 25% matching from us, which is, it's a great program. City of Middletown, for the future, for hundreds of years to come, they should continue to purchase watershed to protect our reservoirs, make sure that we have nothing but a clean runoff to go in there, so we don't have to worry much about algae blooms and about different contaminant that will get into our reservoirs, and to avoid the unfortunate situation that city of Newburgh had with some contaminant going into their reservoir because of the industrial development around them and what runs into their reservoir. So we want to avoid that. We've been doing that for years now, for a few years. DEC is helping us, and DEC approved the special permit. They gave a special permit right away to apply copper sulfate. Copper sulfate could not be applied until we have sunny day, so it happened Wednesday, so we lost Thursday because of the heavy rain. Friday morning, I had another special consultant in there coming from New Jersey just to help us out with to have the proper dosage, because you have only one shot at it. Once you apply copper sulfate, then you have to wait for a couple of weeks to get a special permission from the DEC. So you can't, if it doesn't work once, oh, you go hit some more the next day. It doesn't work that way, because it could result in fish kill, it could result in many things, adverse condition at the reservoir. So our industry is very complicated, and our guys, they're trying, they're doing a good job, and we're watching it, and it's 24-hour job for us, just watching the reservoirs and the water treatment. So another thing today, under the water taking permit from the DEC and supplying water to Amy's Kitchen, there's a condition of our water taking permit from the DEC to install flow meters at the outlet of Mill Pond and Indigo. We ordered the flow meter, we were installing them today, and we're trying to commission them. This is just FYI, so people know that everything is going to be monitored, and everything is going to be, we're going to keep an eye on everything, not only by our rules, but also by the DEC. They're requiring us to do so. So, Shawangunk Dam, we're required to do certain upgrade for Shawangunk Dam. That project is going to be out for bid. It's the bid opening. It's going to be November 22nd. Bid opening is November 22nd. This is for the contractors out there. Please pass the word around. If anybody's interested in bidding on this job, the project is going to be available end of this week, the plans, so you can pick them up. Pre-bid meeting will be November 1st. So please be there, you know, try to look at the plans and have questions so we can address them. And hopefully you'll do well in the bid opening once you know what's going on with the project. That's Shawangunk Dams, and it's 3 dams, not just one, Shawangunk Reservoir Dams. Another project you can see around in here, the $30 million project we keep reporting on, traffic operations. You know, the contractor is moving along, and we're going to try to shrink the scope of their work site as much as possible, so that if the weather turns, then we are ready to shut it down and just start focusing on snow removal and ice control and so on. Street department has been very busy trying to put all our trucks and plows and sanders and salters and so on, you know, try them, drive around and so on and so forth to make sure that we are ready for the snow. So it doesn't, you know, we will not be caught short. At the same time, we're going to have to take some of the sanders off, put them on, take them off in order to pick up the leaves, because we need all our trucks to pick up the leaves in the city. We're trying to come up with different technology. I'll keep you updated about the leaves. We're going to do some demos and so on and so forth. We tried it in the past. We were not too impressed what's out there. But now we're a few years later, we're looking at it again to see a more efficient, better way to pick up the leaves from our streets. So again, for our residents, please, you know, our success is dependent on you, your cooperation, your love for the city, like, you know, it's paramount. So work with us. Do not deposit any leaves before the date of November 7th. Okay, please do not keep it on your front yard, in the backyard, make a pile on your property, but don't put it on the street, because you're going to disrupt our operation. It's against the code. It's against the council resolution. You'll end up getting fined. We don't want to do that. Just keep it on your property until November 7th. And keep in mind the arrangement. Not the whole city should put out their leaves on November 7th. You know, well, legally you can. Remember the arrangement of the wards, how we're going to go pick them up. We're going to start with the second ward, third ward, fourth ward, then the last ward will be the first ward to pick up. All that is available on our website. Please visit our website or call DPW 343-3169 with any questions. With that, I will conclude. I don't want to take it too long for the Acting Council President Johnson, Dr. Johnson. I don't want to abuse.
Welcome.
I don't want to abuse
Welcome in my chamber.
I don't want to abuse my welcome.
Are there any other questions for Jacob or comments? Yes, Sparrow.
Just to compliment, the sidewalks look great. I think they're doing a great job. But two, could you just review what areas are being replaced with sidewalks? Because we're getting some requests from people like, hey, could you do my block? Or just so they know what areas
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
being
Thank you.
part of the federal money.
Yeah, it's basically dictated to us by the DOT. All this project had to be approved by the DOT. And in a nutshell, it's about give minus plus, well, it's less than 250 feet from an intersection. That's where we stop. So in certain areas in there where it doesn't make any sense to stop just in the middle of the block, because why? Because we have 100 foot from either side that will remain old, beat up curbs and sidewalks. So we had other sources of funding, such as the streetscape from DRI, which will be used in downtown, and also we have the ARPA funding, additional grant money. And that's only to fill the gaps in between the two, not to go further to nowhere, but to fill the gaps. So in other words, I'll give you an example here. We have James Street and West Main, and we have Franklin Square. If you do 250 feet from either side, you're going to end up with like 200 feet of old sidewalk that's remaining there. We can't leave the city like that. So that's why we're utilizing other funding to fill up this gap. And that is the simple rule that we have used. It's not going beyond the 200 feet, but it's filling the gap so it doesn't look like Swiss cheese. Nice intersection in the middle is crappy, excuse my expression, crappy old curbs and sidewalks, and there's no granite curb and so on and so forth. It doesn't make any sense. So that's the whole idea behind it.
Any other questions for Jacob? Hearing none, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Superintendent of Recreation.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Johnson, you look wonderful up there tonight.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nothing to report except a thank you to all the vendors and agencies and leagues that participated in the trunk or treat at the farmers market this past Saturday. It was a great turnout. Thank you to the YMCA who we partnered with for this event. It was a great event. And also thank you to City Clerk, Mr. McCormick, who's been a great help recently for all that you do, especially with the dog park licensing that we're partnering with the Facebook group that highly attends the dog park. The City Clerk's been a great help, and we're truly appreciative of everything that you do. Any questions?
How's Will Slayer coming?
Our part is done besides the stalls.
Great. Are there any other questions for Ray Lynn? Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. City Clerk?
Nothing this evening.
Very good. Okay, public hearings and grievances.
Notice is hereby given that the City of Middletown will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, on or as near to 7:30 p.m. as possible, Common Council Chambers, second floor, 16 James Street, to hear any and all persons wishing to be heard on the proposed two-lot subdivision at 1 Stubb Street and 48 Beers Drive. Any and all persons wishing to be heard will be given the opportunity to speak either for or against the proposed two-lot subdivision. The complete proposed application and map of the property for the two-lot subdivision are available in the office of the Common Council Clerk, 16 James Street, room 12, and on the city website. The public hearing shall be conducted in person and via video teleconference and live on Channel 20 for viewing. The link is to register for the virtual public hearing is below, by order of the Common Council.
And mailings are good?
Mailing is a good.
That's good, thank you. All right, I need a motion to open the hearing. Mr. Witt, thank you. Mr. Green, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Hearing's now open. Would you care to remind us of what you want to think about?
Myself, yes. What I'm trying to do here today is to,
Could you just restate your name for the record?
oh, I'm sorry. My name is Tom Lorino. I'm the owner of one of the lots that we're trying to subdivide. We'll pick a line lot change, which is to 1 Stubb Street.
Thank you.
And what we're doing here is that our lots, me and my neighbor, our lots are triangular shaped right now. And so 30 years ago, when we both moved in approximately the same month, we did a survey and we did a handshake. And the mistake we made, we did the survey, but we should have taken a handshake to here, but we did not, and that's why you see me here now. So we have lived with it for 30 years, and everything worked fine for us, but now we decided it's time to make it official. So quite simply, it's just a triangular shape. We're just trying to straighten about that, square them up a little bit, so it's just a little bit easier for everybody. Some of the pains I've had to go through this myself, is that I've learned my shed was not a little bit over on city property. We have promptly moved that as per the direction of the city, and it's resurveyed and 100% exactly where it's supposed to be, not encroaching on anybody's property at all.
Very good.
That's what I have to say. Mr. Boyd could not make it tonight. He has a work, but he's 100% on board with this
Sure.
project as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your opportunity.
Appreciate whatever you could do. And I want
We're
to also,
familiar with the facts, but thank you for reviewing them.
Mr. McCormick's been very resourceful as far as helping me get through this. I just want to say thank you very much. All right.
Great. Anyone else who wishes to be heard regarding this topic? Eileen, anybody online that wishes to be heard?
Not at this time.
Any members of the council? Alderman Kleiner?
I thank the gentleman for his preparation and looking at this. It just makes absolute perfect sense. So I see no issue with it whatsoever.
Any other members of the council wish to comment? Seeing none, I seek a motion to close the hearing. Mr. Witt, thank you. Mr. Green, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion, public hearing is now closed. Mr. McCormick, what should we expect next?
This resolution will appear on the first meeting in November for common council approval.
Okay. Thank you. You're in the tunnel, you're good to go. Thank you very much. All righty. Any petitions or complaints?
Not this evening.
None this evening. Remarks of the alderman. I'm going to switch it up. Alderwoman Ramkissoon.
Wow. I don't really have anything this evening. I just wanted a reminder for the Third Ward residents that next week, Tuesday, the 25th, is our monthly ward constituent meeting. Weather permitting, we'll be looking at 6:30 at Maple Hill Park at the Bob Isaacs Pavilion. If it's not in the 60s like it said it's going to be next week, we will put out an announcement for potentially bringing it back to City Hall. But for now, we'd like to see if we can enjoy the view just one more time. So that's really all I have. That's
It might be cider and hot chocolate weather. We'll see. I said it might be cider or hot chocolate weather. We'll see how it goes. Alderman Kleiner.
You are mixing it up. Thank you. What a lovely day for a baseball game, but the Yankee game is over and the congressional debate is over. So here we are, 8 o'clock. I want to thank the commissioner. He came to our Second Ward constituents meeting and was very gracious, and it was a good discussion. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Before we meet again, early voting will start. So I wanted to remind people that in Middletown, the Middletown Senior Center, I believe it's the upper part of the Senior Center, will be the place for early voting. And our next meeting, I take it's on the 1st, but early voting starts Saturday, October 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sunday, October 30th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 6th. So if you plan on early voting, the times change, like on Halloween it's 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., on the next Tuesday, it's 12 noon to 8 p.m. So you'd want to check that. And if you go on the Orange County website and open up the Board of Elections, you will find wherever the camera is, you will find the sample ballot, and it shows you everything you need to know. And don't forget, there is a proposition on the back, so you'll want to look at that. That's for protecting water and clean air and such in New York State. Other than that, I think I brought up an issue about what we're doing with feral cats in the city, and I think that needs to be addressed, and Alderman Massey's looking into that, and the mayor's looking into that. So I will save that for next time, and any other questions I have, I'm going to save for next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Jean-Francois.
Yes, good evening. I also like to thank the traffic operation crew. They're doing a great job. The city is looking great. All the sidewalk is looking great. And I know that it's a long way coming. The job should be done within another year or so. So it's a great progress. I like what I've seen. The city's looking great. Thank you.
Alderman Green.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I do want to thank the commissioner for taking my spot at our constituents meeting. I know the big shoes to fill, but I hear you did a great job. Now, I was away on business, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much for being there. And also, I just wanted to mention on behalf of the chief's office at the fire department that just a reminder for everyone here that inspection night is this Friday night, and we're going to be meeting at City Hall at 6 p.m. So we hope everyone can attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Tobin.
Just to look forward to inspection night, nothing else.
Alderman Witt.
Thank you. We had our first ward meeting on October 12th. Thank you to the members of the Middletown Police Department who attended. We're getting into a nice groove with this, and it's great to have those folks there to help answer some questions for us and our community. Our next meeting is on November 9th. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. There is no unfinished business. We'll move to new business.
Good evening. We have a resolution from Alderman Witt to grant a 30-day waiver as per the New York Alcoholic Beverage Control Law to Yishan Korean Food LLC at 75 Railroad Avenue.
I have a motion from Alderman Witt. I need a second. Alderwoman Ram-Kasoon. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green authorizing a $2,000 budget transfer to cover overdrafts.
I have a motion presented by Alderman Green. I need a second. Alderman Jean-Francois. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner to accept state and local overtime slot reimbursements for overtime incurred by officers assisting in open ATF investigations.
I have a motion offered by Alderman Kleiner. I need a second. Alderman Green. Is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ram-Kasoon authorizing pay increases for certain positions at the Middletown Police Department.
I have a motion offered by Alderwoman Ram-Kasoon. I need a second. Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries.
Thank you.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Jean-Francois to accept a $6,250 grant award from Senator Skoufis' office for the National Night Out Against Crime event.
I have a motion offered by Alderman Jean-Francois. I need a second. Alderwoman Ram-Kasoon. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin to accept additional funding from the Orange County Senior Citizen Transportation Program.
A resolution offered by Alderman Tobin. I have a second from Alderman Kleiner. Is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. A resolution sponsored by Alderman Witt authorizing a wholesale waiver agreement / proposal.
I have a resolution offered by Alderman Witt. I need a second. Alderman Jean-Francois. Is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green declaring a recreation in parks vehicle as surplus.
I have a motion offered by Alderman Green. Do I have a second? Alderman Tobin. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram-Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner authorizing a $167,803 budget transfer to cover costs associated with the Wolf Slayer Field project.
I have a motion offered by Alderman Kleiner. Do I have a second? Alderman Witt. Is there any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Ram Kasoon authorizing a proposal from CDM Smith for the water withdrawal permit application.
A resolution offered by Alderwoman Ram Kasoon. Do I have a second? Alderman Kleiner. Is there any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Jean-Francois to approve a modification of the restrictions contained in the deed conveying 45-51 Academy Avenue.
A resolution offered by Alderman Jean-Francois. I'm looking for a second. Alderman Kleiner. Is there any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries.
Local laws.
No local laws this evening.
Audit. Alderwoman Ram Kasoon.
Mr.
Can you help us
President, I
out?
move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Thank you. I need a second. Alderman Green, thank you. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Tobin.
Aye.
Jean-Francois.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Ram Kasoon.
Aye.
Kleiner.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Witt.
Aye.
Carries.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.